What's up, Marcy Cookies? Cosino Art here, and today I'm gonna tell you 7 things you will need to do on the interview in order to get your studio job. So let's get to it. Number 1, do your research. Specifically, before you enter any interview, make sure to do a lot of research on the company and people that are gonna interview you. Now, of course, a lot of times you might not know exactly who's gonna be in the room at a time, but usually you can kinda have a good idea depending on the department that you're applying, depending on the position. For example, if you are a concept artist and you're applying for a job in an animation company, what you can do is first research the company, see what they worked on, see how many years they've been in business, see all of the movies that they've done, or like all of the series or whatever it is that they did. Watch all of this first, learn more what articles were written about them, and try to do that research before the interview, like a couple days before, so it's fresh in your mind. So once you get there, in case if you need to make a conversation or if it's relevant, like you can use an example of something you did to compare it to something, you can have that information, and then it will also tell them that you know your stuff, that you know their stuff, and that you're a good fit. And now if you're wondering how do you research people that are going to interview you, first, usually whenever you exchange emails and they're inviting you to an interview, there's at least one name attached. In a lot of cases, you will see that some people are CC'd to the email. Those are usually also the people that are going to be in the room. So it's a good idea to check them out. Go on LinkedIn, check out their names, check out what they worked on, what they did, what is their positions, things like that, because it's going to be helpful for you. But if you only have one person in the email and you don't have any people CC'd, what you can also do is you can go to LinkedIn, go to the company that you're applying for and look for the department. For example, if you are a concept artist or 3D modeler, if you're a 3D modeler, you want to look for the 3D modeling department or visual effects department or 3D animation department. If you are a concept artist, you want to look for visual development department. And once you look into their departments, you can see the people that work there. For example, VizDev supervisor or VizDev producer, things like that, because usually those are the people that are going to be in the room when they're interviewing you. And of course, don't go all stalker on them. What I mean is just look into their experience, look what software they use to make sure that you're on the same page. And this way you already know what they're worked on. This way you kind of have an idea, you have an idea of what they're expecting of you as well. And it will just genuinely be easier for you to make conversation with them when you're familiar with their work, and better yet with those people. Always come over prepared. This is actually my thing. I always show up on meetings over prepared with information and things that I bring, just because if you're over prepared, you will, 1, feel confident, and 2, whatever questions they have to throw at you, you will be able to answer it and maybe even have visual presentation for them prepared. This is actually my personal thing. I like to come to meetings over prepared no matter what the meeting is, because this way your meeting is generally going to be much more productive, especially if it's an interview, because they don't want to waste their time. They want to just go through people and make sure that they find the best match possible. And you want to make sure that it's you, if you're really the fit for the position. So what you need to do is convince them that you're worth it, that you're prepared, and that you're ready to get working. And being over prepared will help them see that as well. Actually, number 1 on our list is also being over prepared. If you research the company and people in the room, that shows them that you've done your research, you've done your homework, that you're thorough, and you do pay attention to details, which is a lot of times something that what people put on their resume is detail oriented. And if you've done your research, that does show them that you're detail oriented. So this is kind of proving the point. There are many ways to come over prepared. It usually depends on your position that you're applying to, your experience, all of those things. I would say, yes, definitely do lots of research on every possible thing that might come up. Try to think of general questions they will ask you. This way you won't be caught off guard. You won't be like, I don't know, I gotta think about it. You gotta have an answer for them. So try to, 1, research some questions that are asked in interviews like that. I might just do another video focus on those questions if you guys want. Just make sure to let me know in the comments below. But definitely do some research so that you're not caught off guard. Another thing is, if you can have something physical. For example, if you have your portfolio that is printed out, in my case, because I'm actually animation producer, right? So I don't necessarily have the book to show. So what I did was I actually took a project, the big project that I produced before. I broke it down into the pipeline stages. I did some design around it, and I made a whole freaking poster. And I brought that poster together with my resume, with my business cards, with everything, and a tablet with my website on it. For example, if you're an animator or compositor, visual effects artist, it's always good to bring your laptop or your iPad where you have your work on it. It can be your reel, it can be your older works, your newer works, your personal projects, it can be a lot of things. If you worked on other companies or other projects like from small B movies and things like that, it's also good to bring, because then you can just show them right there and then, this is what I have done. If they have any questions, you can show them, you can answer those questions, and it will just show them once again, because they didn't ask you to bring those things. You brought them yourself. You've proven to be useful, you've proven to be quick and helpful in thinking on your feet, and that's what is valuable. And of course, make sure to bring like at least 3 copies of your resume, your business cards, things like that, so that they can also take a look at it. And if you have multiple copies and there is multiple people in the room, it will show them that you have been prepared and done your homework. So that's another plus for you. And next one is actually a very important one, because this little tip will help you build the entire narrative of your interview. Because you want to come with a narrative. You don't want to just come and go into the interview with yes and no questions. You need to have your own story. So next on our list is, you need to figure out an answer to question. Why would they hire you? What makes you special? What is it that you can bring to their company? And of course, yes, they're looking for skilled artists. That is, of course, always true. But for example, if you're a 3D modeler and you know for a fact that this video game company or this animation company has a lot of creatures, and you happen to do a lot of creatures, or maybe you started doing them on purpose to get to this company, that's up to you. But the point is that you can bring this into your narrative. You can be like, I've always loved designing creatures. That's been my passion. Like, you know, this is something that I enjoy very much, and this is why I've done so much of this work. And you can show it. You can kind of let them know that this is your thing, which kind of makes you a professional, quote unquote, because you have been focusing on creatures particularly way more than all of the other like 10 other modeler guys that are gonna come after you. And if this company has a lot of creatures that they do, they will definitely want to hire somebody with experience and passion for that kind of subject. If you are bilingual or if you know multiple languages, that's another thing. Like when I was getting a job, because I speak multiple languages, that's always been noticed by all of the employers, because abilities to speak different languages help you solve problems way quicker, help you think outside of the box, and you have a much bigger pool of research that you can do, which is something that I've been using for years. Speaking multiple languages is very useful, guys, if you can learn more languages. But if you can speak more than one language, you should definitely mention it in a narrative somehow, like, you know, low key, if they're asking for any additional skills or something like that. And of course, it needs to be on your resume. I'm sorry guys if I sound a little weird today. I got these allergies and it's so annoying, and I know like I sound weird, but I still wanted to make this video to hopefully help you out. So if you can bear with me, let's keep going. Okay, next tip is try to bring up your previous work or project experience when you're answering questions, when you're in a conversation, and of course whenever it's relevant. It's not like, oh yeah, the weather is great, by the way, I worked on this project. But you know, whenever you're answering questions, for example, if they're asking, I don't know, what is your strong suit or what is your skills like, things like that, you want to answer it, say like, oh yeah, my strong suits or like my strong skills are, I don't know, I'm very organized, I work quickly, blah, blah, blah. And then you should bring up situations, how it was helpful to a previous project that you worked on. For example, when I worked on this project, we were a little bit behind on a deadline, but thankfully, because I work so fast or because I'm so organized, we were able to finish models in time and we didn't miss a deadline. You can say, I'm trying my best to use the skill and improve the skill, things like that. So this way, you're not only answering their questions, but you're also kind of demonstrating how those skills were actually helpful to you in your previous work experience, and that says a lot to them. And to follow that, get ready to think on your feet. during the interview, because they have so many people lined up and they need to filter as quick as possible. Usually when they're in need of people, they will try to filter out people as quick as possible. So you need to be able to think on your feet, be quick to answer their questions, and make sure you're not taking too long when you're answering their questions. Which is why earlier we talked about you need to be prepared, you need to research some questions they're gonna ask you, so that you're not just sitting there like, let me think about that, like things like that. They're not gonna wait, they don't have time. So do your research, try to think on your feet, and this will be very useful. Another thing is try to look professional. From your outfit to what kind of bag you bring, to bringing your stuff and being prepared, all of this makes you look professional. I know that in our industry, we don't have uniforms to wear. Usually in the studios, like you can wear whatever. A lot of people will just wear hoodies. A lot of times it's actually like company hoodies, so that's kind of cool. You can wear a cool t-shirt, things like that. It's fun. But for the interview itself, it is better if you are still wearing a professional dress code, because one, you never know this specific company's policies, and two, this makes you look put together, makes you look professional, and you give a good first impression, which is very important at the interview. So for those of you who don't know, for professional look dress code, you need to wear a shirt, or if you're not wearing a shirt, you want to wear like a cool t-shirt, that's fine too, as long as you have like a blazer jacket, or you can wear a suit. And if you want to make it semi-formal, like semi-formal style is still acceptable if you're not going too far. Don't overdo it with fun t-shirts though, guys. Like if you want to do like VFX something, or like some project you worked on in the past, that's fine. Or like some character you love, that's also fine, but just don't overdo it. If you want to play it safe, you know, wearing t-shirt, or it can be like a fun shirt, like here, let me demonstrate, like this is a fun shirt. Obviously, no need to say that your pants need to be long, preferably either this kind of office pants, or it can be jeans, but just not any funny colors. Do not wear shorts or short skirts to the interview. And finally, because again, first impressions mean a lot, especially at the interviews. You meet those people, they vibe with you, they want to get to know you, and they want to figure out what kind of person you are, and your first impression will mean, because you only got your first impression to either stay with them in the company and work with them and let them get to know you, or not. This is your only chance. So that's why it's important to, one, look confident. Even if you're nervous, it's okay, but you need to hype yourself up, stay confident, because you know what? You are a professional in this industry. You're applying for this job because you can do it, and all you need to do is convince them that you can. And have a positive attitude. Because in a studios where a lot of people work together, if you're coming in with a negative attitude, nobody's gonna hire you. You need to have a positive attitude, you need to be confident, you need to let them know that you're a team player, that you're down to earth, that you're a positive person, so that they actually want to be around you, because basically they're picking somebody who's going to be working with them and who's going to be constantly around them. So you need to make a good first impression. Sometimes when a company has a couple of candidates that are close to getting a job, they might even conduct several interviews for those candidates to kind of get to know them a little better and see which one of them will be the better fit. So be prepared. Those tips will be helpful for every single interview that you get. Just make sure to be prepared, be ready, do your research, and get the job. If you found this video useful, I have another video coming up soon about 7 things that you should never do at your studio job interview. So stay tuned. I have lots more videos coming up on the art career, like getting job, all of that kind of topics. So stay tuned, subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you have any video requests or things like that, also let me know. I will definitely consider it. I'm always looking for like ideas and stuff. So I hope you guys like it. I hope it's helpful. Let me know, and I'll see you guys next time.